So, like, if your permission is there, should we get started?
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Why not?
Yeah,
Stage
yeah.
is yours.
So hello everybody, and once again, welcome to this live. With me over here is a very talented author, Ankit Kumar. He has recently written a book, Illume. Now, I will not share more about it because Ankit himself will be revealing the tits and bits of the book here with us. And without any further ado, let's get started. So my first question to you is, can you please tell us a little about your book and what inspired, you to write it?
What inspired you to write it, right? So, can I just try to give a description of what Illume is? Then it might relate to what
Yes, yes,
inspired me to
please.
write it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So thank you for that. So Illume is the ancient name of Earth, first of all, and it's Almighty's greatest creation. So Illume will take you to a pre-Vedic age which has a distinctive map, distinctive set of characters, and fast-paced writing, obviously. So Illume was going to be the beacon of hope, serenity, prosperity for the Almighty. But in his absence, his three children, goddess Aikya and Pragya, and god Sahasya, creates races named after them. Now, these races are at each other's throat all the time. So the world of Illume is in anarchy because of greed, lust, rivalry, dominance, and all those things. So that's why Ashes in the title of the book, and why Illume? That's the name of the ancient planet that is Earth. But why win? Because everything was going to change. Everything was going to change because of the heroics of Aryan and with two prominent characters of the Illume saga. So Aryan, unaware of his history, frees himself from the slavery of the ruthless Sahasyas. He is the bearer of the golden sword. He is the uh, heir apparent to the Pragyam throne. And under the guidance of Ved Vidish, the wise Ved Vidish, he would go through a turbulent journey of betrayals, wars, and meet unexpected friends. And at the same time, parallelly, there is Avik, who wants to free his country of Aikyas from foreign interventions. So he instigates a revolution in his country and goes through a mysterious forest where he claims the legendary armor from the Vaners. So, but his revolution spirals out of control because of blind faith and conviction. But obviously, both of them are going to play important roles in the history of Ilium and the world we know today. So, how the
Okay.
history is going to take their encounter is the major thing, especially when there are other prominent characters like Avika, Ashvik, Ved Videsh, who together are going to fight the tyranny of the Renaults, and at the same time, they are going to fight the evil that is known as Danav in the book. Okay, what inspired me? I would trace my history of world building to Mr. T.R.R. Tolkien, the father of
Yes,
Lord of the Rings saga. I
yes,
believe
yes.
he was the first person who created this world building in the fictional world, fictional literary world. And how I learned to connect with the readers, what inspired me to connect with the readers, I would give it to J.K. Rowling. Obviously, I was very small when I was reading Harry Potter saga, but I need to give that to her. She is the inspiration for most of us, most of the
Correct.
90s writers. So yeah, that would be my inspiration.
Thank you so much. Well, Ankit, I really agree with you because R.R. Tolkien has so many characters. You know, you really, when you read the book, you really have to have a list with you that these are so many characters.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
right, because I faced that also while I was reading the book. So, now, as you rightly said, there are a lot of characters involved in your book as well. So, my next question is, how do you approach world building?
Yeah,
How do you approach world building, especially in a setting as complex as Ilium? And what are some
yeah,
challenges that you faced in creating this universe? Did you experience any challenges?
yeah. Sure, sure. So I would definitely say there are two ways where you can create the world. First is it's a new, exciting world. For example, an alien world with alien technologies, everything is new. You have no relation with your
Correct.
current understanding of the society. Second world is the mirror reflection of the society you live in. Okay, all the agony, all the anger, all the wars, all the treachery, all the love. the way you evince your emotion is very much similar to how we do it in our current world. So Ilium falls in the second domain, and obviously it's an ancient world, but it has all the emotions that we share today. The most important thing during world building that I've learned throughout my experience is to ensure that we have that continuity first of all. World building is a layer by layer activity where you do not want the readers to entangle uh, their thoughts and imaginations and get confused. We need to give their imagination a wing to fly, just to ponder and want more for this world, right? So that's what we want. So that is what is there when what we need in continuity. What I mean by continuity. Second of all, I would say is the realism in the world. Okay, if you're creating a world, there should be some realistic approach that would inspire the readers to read it further. For example, if I say a huge monster lurking beneath the ocean, readers would say, okay, there is no monster beneath the ocean, but I can relate to it because I've heard about these stories, right?
Correct.
But if I say every third human being is a 12 feet giant out of nowhere, reader would question, what is this? I'm not saying that is not true. That could happen. Some authors might have done that. I'm not complaining against them, but yeah, that is one thing. That is one thing. So the challenges that I face are related to these two because these two things I have to fulfill, right? So so if you'll go a century back, maybe to the era of Lord of the Rings, right? The authors had the privilege to give a background of the story. They had the privilege to explain what the characters are, what is a hobbit, what is an elf, what is a dwarf, and so on. But if you
Correct.
will go through the current market trend, you do not have that flexibility, right? You have to explain everything through narration. You have to explain everything through dialogues, the characters, and everything. So I had to ensure what I am narrating in the first page and what I am narrating at the 60th page are interlinked, and at the same time, they fulfill the purpose of that page, that story plot. So, yeah, that would be the answer for your question.
Oh my God, there is so much of complexity involved, in this, and I'm sure that the book will also have, a lot of surprising elements. Thank you so much for answering that. And now my next
Yeah.
question is, well, can you describe us your writing process? I'm sure every author has a writing process, how he likes to write his book. So we would like to know, do you have any particular rituals or habits that you follow? Because I think this will, be a guiding for a lot of newbies who are really looking forward to be an author, just like you.
Well, your question is very important, and it itself has an answer, right? Writing is a process. Writing is a journey. It's not a destination. At every juncture, at every conjecture, you learn new things, and how you learn that, you get yourself validated by a voracious reader. So when I
Correct.
write something, I chart down a world, obviously. How the stories are going to be, that's within its circumference, right? This is the world, this is the story. And then these are the characters and how the characters are interlinked, right? That's how you chart down the world. But how you are going to bring that validation in the character, it's going through a validation through your readers, through your loyal reader base that you have. So I think this is the writing process that I followed while writing the book. And about any rituals, see, my understanding, my funda is very clear. Uh, when you are passionate about something, right? Hear me out, everyone. When you're passionate about something, you do not need to get time for it. You do not need to fight for the time for it. You create time for it. Okay. Whether
Correct.
it's a midnight, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a weekend. If you're passionate
Correct.
about
Correct.
something, you'll find satisfaction while writing, doing it. Any habit, you'll find satisfaction while doing it. It will keep you motivated. So your passion is your motivation, and not vice versa. That I would say to your question.
Wow, this is so true. Like, if you have the passion, you will definitely find time for it, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so now going on to my next question. So, about the characters that are there in your book, are these characters based on real people or are they entirely fictional? Like, what is your inspiration behind their development?
Yeah. Well, it's my understanding and it's my perception. I'm not saying I might be wrong or right, but I believe that every author, be it 200 years ago, be it today, trace their lineage to William Shakespeare, right? He was the first literary sensation whom everybody knows about, right? So I believe every character author creates has some resemblance, similarity to real world. There could be historical perspective there could be your day-to-day observations, but they have realistic approaches. So there are many characters readers would find association with, but I
Correct.
would not give them a spoiler, right? I would not give the spoiler, but I will like to stress on two major yeah, I like to stress on two major characters. One is Ved Videsh, he's the wise man, and the other is Aryan. I find similarity to them, to Chandragupta Maurya and Chanakya. So why Chandragupta Maurya was the first emperor who united India, right? He was the diamond, an unpolished diamond, and Chanakya polished him. That's how the story is. Ved Videsh is the visionary who has seen the worst of time, who has seen the
Correct.
best of time, and he knows based on the current circumstances, you don't need to follow the same path to achieve the best of times, right? So he's the one who is going to train and groom Aryan. And Aryan, who is ambitious, who is there to prove himself, who wants to achieve many things in life, but he's also in the right path. But he needs that guidance. So I would say these two characters find resemblance to Chandragupta Maurya and Chanakya. And there are many other characters you will find relation to readers. But yeah, these two are the best.
Thank you so much. Also, my next is every book that an author writes has some message that an author wants to, the reader to take back home. So, what is that message that readers want to take back after they finish reading your book?
Yeah, yeah. So, see, whenever an author is writing something, right, the best thing they want is to connect with the readers, and that
Correct.
is the best admiration a author could get. So, I have written plots and stories. So each reader might connect with a particular character or with a particular story in a different way. Okay, so they might try to relate their real life story or their past with the characters of the story or maybe the plots. So what I want is that when you go and teach someone in the real life, okay, what you have done is wrong, or why you should not do something in real life, until unless they get a real situation, they don't try to get into that decision mode. But when you go through the characters, you see what they have done might not be the best thing, what they have done might not be the right thing, what they have done might not be the easiest thing, and what they might have done is the wrong thing based on the situation. So when such situation comes in their lives, they would understand, okay, what decision I have to take. I am in the same position where the characters were. So I want to create this relation with the readers, and this is what I want the readers to take back home. I don't want to give a particular message. Okay, you linger with this emotion, carry it till the age of
Mm-hmm.
60.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take experiences. There is a famous sentence I would like to give out to the readers. Wise are those who learn from their mistakes. Wise are those who learn from their mistakes. Wisest are those who learn from others' mistakes. Okay, and that's what I want to. That's what I want to achieve through the stories. But there are other wise characters also who try to give you a deep meaning of the world, and I would love the leaders to ponder about it.
Wow. Like this is a pure way, Ankit, I must say, of how you are, before any movie there is a teaser where you get a teaser and then people are like excited to read the book. I'm sure this is the teaser that has surely will keep the readers, they would really want to go and buy the book. It's really very enticing, Ankit. I'm sure that the readers will definitely love it. My next question is, what how do you feel about the balance between writing for yourself and writing for your readers? Do you ever make decisions based on what you think the audience will enjoy?
Well, to be honest about it, that's my perspective. I might be wrong. Sorry, everybody out there. Okay, I believe every author writes for the readers. Okay, so my belief is until and unless your reader is enjoying your book, you won't feel validated. You won't feel that peace. Now, there is another catch. Every author started their writing history with that table and bench writing for himself or herself.
Yeah.
But eventually, when they got better, they wanted their work to be validated by their teachers or their friends. So that validation stayed there. and that's what they want to do. So when they are writing something, they try to visualize according to the reader's perspective. For example, if I've written 10 pages, I'll 10 days back, I want to go back to it and read it again. Why? Because I might have a different perspective reading that. I
Mm.
might have a different perspective understanding whether I have written the right thing or not. That's what I want to do when I'm writing something. So getting validated, getting connected with the readers. So there are different approaches to do it. There might be a unique way, there might be a repetitive way, there might be some n number of ways how you are connecting. There are so many authors out there, right? Even the famous ones. You can just relay the same path they had taken to connect with the readers, right? So I believe the same
Mm.
way every author wants to connect with the readers, and that's how I have changed my writing skills throughout my time, throughout my experience, so that I connect with the readers in a unique way. But eventually, I want to connect with the readers.
Thank you so much. So, for any reader to read a book, they need to be engaged in reading the book. So, my next question is, how do you balance action, dialogue, and description in your writing to maintain pacing and keep the readers engaged?
Well, that's a tough one, I would say, but you have rightly mentioned those three are the pillars of any engaging novel, and that is the key behind your success. But I'll go one by one for to each
Yes.
topic. They are very important for any author to understand, any writer to understand, and maybe in any other passion that you're following. Okay, there might be pillars, but you have to understand the pillars first of all. So I'll start with action. What I believe, action without a motive is null and void. So whenever you are writing something, your action should have a motive. For example, I'm saying my character is a calm human being, right? I cannot just simply jump out from anywhere and start killing everybody, right? That action has no sense. There should be a motive. I have done a character building throughout the book. That action, every action that we are taking should have a motive with a flavor of suspense and thrill, obviously, that we have to bring in. The second thing, which I believe is the most important of them all, is that dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I there could be a number of ways. 100 times I would say this character is aggressive, this character is calm, this character is polite, and so on. But until and unless the character is interacting, what is behind the mindset of the character, you won't understand until and unless there is a dialogue, right? And with the dialogues, you could save n number of lines and readers' time as well. For example, if I would say, "Oh, in such a beautiful environment, you're still angry with me." So what I did, I provided two things. The person is angry, and at the same time, the world is very beautiful right now, right? I saved 4 or 5 lines for the readers while narrating. So I would say dialogue falls there. The third is what you mentioned, description. So it's like filling the bottle with round balls. You see, there are gaps still there, right? So those fillers are done by uh, uh, the description on the narration that I would say. Narration or description is the only point where the author is connecting with the readers, because dialogues and actions are for the characters. But when you are narrating, that is the place where you're directly connecting with the readers, right? Where you're directly explaining what the reader is doing, try to connect what the characters are thinking. So I believe that forms the filling part which you try to achieve through description. But all three of them should not be fast enough. Oh, I started coming cleaning everybody. No, no, no. It should have a pace so that everybody relates to. It should not be so slow that I jump to the next passage. Try to avoid reading so many lines because it's going slow, even though the story is very interesting. So I think that is the way it plays its part in the novel building or any story building.
Wow, this is so resourceful. I'm sure that the people watching this, they might have already got so many insights from the author himself. Thank you so much, Ankit, for being so much raw and so much straight to the point. Like, all that you are saying is, it comes as if you have a lot of experience in this field. It shows your confidence, and it also, like, me as a reader, I'm like very excited to read it. And also, like, if I become an author in the future, I'm sure that I would love to read your books and see how you come up with the characters. Thank you so much for this knowledge. um, Going on, every book has some kind of research that goes into the background. So my next question to you is, What role do research and a historical context play in your writing, especially if you're writing about fantastical worlds or complex mythologies?
Yeah. Yeah, so I know that having historical knowledge, having a precise understanding, and doing some research plays a very important part in your novel writing. But in Illume, I didn't want to be politically correct or incorrect. I didn't want to be historically precise or historically wrong. What I wanted to do is to connect all the ancient civilizations. So what I mean here is that there was Indus Valley civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization, Sumerian civilization. There were similar stories in each civilization. I wanted to research that. For example, the end of world, hellstorm and fire. Everywhere it's common, right?
Yeah,
Everybody has that Noah's Ark story, right? In Hinduism, it is like Saptarishis and the boat. In Christianity, there is Noah's Ark. In Sumerian Empire, there is one story where the world submerges underwater. It's common, right? There is a devil, there is Satan, there is a Danav in every civilization, right?
yes,
I
yes, yeah.
wanted to converge, I wanted to converge all of them and just focus it back to Ilium and try to
Okay.
create a world that will find its root, that will find its roots for all the beliefs, all the mythologies, all the answers to our rituals, what we follow, and so on. So I didn't want to be very much historically accurate, but I wanted to lurk on those stories which are similar. So that was my investigation. At the same time, when I'm writing down the
Okay.
characters and writing down the stories and doing the world building, I want to ensure I'm not deviating for it. I try to give the answer to all those questions because I cannot have that confusion there. Yeah.
Wow, my God, you really have amazed me, Ankit. So I really love that how you have approached this book, and really inspiring, I must say. Um, so, as an author, what's your next as an author? I would love to know. Are you working on any other projects? Are there any other books coming out from you? Because we as readers would love to know
Well,
about it.
yeah, yes. So, readers out there, there are some exciting news coming in. Okay, you do read this first book, Ilium Ashes, and with the lots of plots, twists, the answer for which you will find in the second book, the 30% of which I've already completed. I'll try to publish the next part of the Illume saga. I'm not going to disclose the title, that will come with time, but you will find most of the answers there. There is a very significant twist in the first part. So there are some exciting news and exciting stories coming up. So readers, please do follow me, do read the book and keep following me. Next book is coming very soon.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so readers out there, if you're watching this live, I'm not, you don't wait for the live to get over, but right now go away to Ankit Kumar's handle, that is AK Verse. Please go follow him, and please show some love, buy his book, and review him, tag him in his stories, tag him in your stories, send him your reviews. And he's such a talented writer. He's written an amazing book, and through this interview, he's given a lot of insights. So, all of you, please just go and follow him. So, coming towards a few set of last questions, Ankit, I really want to do 1 hour more, but we have a time crunch. But I'll go slowly move on to the next question. What's the most rewarding part as an author, like for you? What's the most rewarding part of being an author?
Well, the most rewarding part is to get admiration, right?
That's true.
Anybody wants to get admired, and that is the thing. An author wants to connect with their readers, and when the readers get connected, they get the feel of the story, they get the feel of the characters. Obviously, that is the admiration that an author wants. They don't want a written admiration, they don't want a compliment on a YouTube video or on an Insta page. They want admiration from real people, from real stories, and that's what I want to achieve. That is the admiration for any author, and I think that's what I'm trying to achieve through my book.
Wow, that's really great. Every author always seeks for this admiration, and we truly pray and we truly wish you the best, that you receive a lot of admiration and you find your own community of readers who can relate to your book and who love the way that you write your stories. My last question, and I'm sure this is the most exciting question which most of the budding authors would want to know from you, and that is, if you could give one piece of advice to aspiring authors, what would it be?
Well, yeah, so I'm not an expert here, guys, all the budding authors, but I like to share my experience. A healthy mind gives you a healthy soul, and vice versa. Try to have that healthy mind and healthy soul, right? It will do wonders. Okay, be passionate about your work. Go slow. Don't rush for it. Don't try to make your book famous forcefully. If you will give your time, go slow, get yourself validated, your book becomes your baby, right? Like a baby, a parent gives all the moral values to his child or her child, right? That child might fail, that my child might get successful in life, doesn't matter. You will love your child. That's how you know your book should be. It should fail, it should go find success, it doesn't matter. It should be your baby, right? So that's what I want the budding authors to do. Most of the budding authors are confused, they are rushing with this social media thing. They want to reach out to so many readers without understanding what your book is actually, because they have not been so slow. They forget the main theme of the book, the main essence of the book, why you were writing it at the right place, right? At the
Correct.
right time, you were writing something.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that would be my message for all the budding authors.
Thank you so much. We have a question from Sana Sheikh, and that is, what was the hardest scene in the book Illume, Ashes and the Wind, the lost legends of the Illume trilogy to write?
That would be a spoiler, I would say, but I would not disclose the hardest thing. The hardest thing was the last chapter, okay?
Okay.
I'm just telling you the hardest thing was the last chapter. My hands trembled while writing that, okay? But that is the major twist of the story, right? You will see a life changing and a shocking detail there when one of your major or prominent characters is going to face or might, I am not going to disclose much, but that was the hardest part of it. All the character building, all the stories, all the mystery that I gave, that is going to get shattered, or you might find it interesting. I don't know, but that was the last chapter, The Whispers. I'm naming the chapter to you. Go and read the book, buy the book, go through the last page. I would suggest don't go through the last page first, go through the entire book and then the last page.
Okay, thank you so much, Ankit. Well, we would love to hear you read. Okay, there is another question. Yeah, my like even I wanted to ask, can you please read something from your book? We would love to hear it from you.
You want me to read something from my book?
Yeah, something that something
A
that
page?
yeah, just a paragraph or something, which you can read from your book.
Give me a second. I'll try to bring the book.
Yeah,
Just give me a second.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
So hi guys, this is the book Illume-Verse and the Wind. So I'm just reading the first paragraph of the book, okay, for all the readers there.
Yeah.
The sight was dreadful. In the misty grounds of the very south of Sahasyast, the Vidyuts, Sahasyan army were fighting against the Trishuls, the tridents named by Indra Manu himself after his banner. The Sahasyas were dressed in red robes and silver armor. They had fair skin, silver hair, and were often hefty. Known to be tough and ruthless, they ruled Sahasyast with a strong army. The Trishuls were a rebellious group rumored to have been guarding a mythical ancient power. The smell of rotten flesh choked their lungs, swords collided, and amid the fierce battle, countless lives were lost. The Vidyuts were losing. The Trishuls pushed them from all sides, and it was then that the commander called for the reserves. So that was the first paragraph of the book.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Thank you. We have some more questions coming up for you. One is, tell us, being an IT professional, what brings you to be a writer?
Well, you have to stick to your hobbies. IT is very recent, right? When we were children, we used to play cricket, we were indulging in painting, we were singing, we were doing tabla, we were doing guitar, we were writing. So the only thing that I did was I stuck I just stick to my passion,
Yeah,
right? I just
that's
kept
true.
writing. I never lived. It's like I explained earlier, you do not get time for it, right? You have to create time for it. You have to find time for it.
Very
Whether it's a
true.
midnight
Very
or
true.
holiday
Very
or
true.
Saturday or Sunday, you have to find time for it.
Yeah. Okay. And there's another question. What motivates you to write?
Sorry, I missed your question. You were breaking.
Yeah. What motivates you to write? What motivates you to write?
What motivates me to write? I think I discussed that earlier as well. The admiration of the readers. See, when you connect with one person, you feel happy. When you connect with n number of people, you feel n number times happy, right? When my authors are reading my book, when my readers are reading my book, the author is connecting with so many people, and I connect with the. So see, if a roof have 10 holes, right, and you stand 10 people at equal distance, they will have different warmth of the light. They will have different wavelength of the light, but that is coming from the same source, that is the sun, right? And the author is that sun. Each character, each story has a different connect with each reader, right? They will find different
Yeah, very
characters
true.
with whom they can relate to, right? So that's the happiest part of it, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Okay, so with this, we are coming to an end of this live. Ankit, are there any final remarks that you would like to say to all our readers, to all people out there in the live? Are there any final remarks?
Yeah. So see, when usually people wait for a book to get successful and then they buy it, I would request please don't wait for that moment. Go and buy this book. This book is really very interesting. It has been validated by lots of proficient readers, voracious readers, I would say. It has been proofread by multiple people. I have received brilliant reviews for so many reviewers across India. I have been sharing this with so many people. Please read it. You will like the book. There are so many mysteries to unravel here. There's so many stories to tell and hear about. We are going to continue with the sequel and the sequel after that. And maybe we might have a prequel as well. But until and unless you read this first book, you won't know anything. So please, please, please go out there and buy the book.
Okay, thank you so much, Ankit. And for all the readers out there, there are three things that I would really like you all to do as soon as the live ends. One is please go and follow AK-Verse, that's Ankit Kumar. I'm sure that he has, as he rightly said, he has many passion projects, his books that's coming up. And so you will come to know more about what are his future projects, and also you will stay connected to him as well. Second thing, please go to Amazon and buy this book for sure. And once you buy the book, please do read it and review it. And please tag him and also share with him how you like the book. If you've been a part of this interview from the starting of the session, there has been a lot of discussion on how the characters are built, what is the key to being a successful writer, what are the tips of being an aspiring writer, how to develop a writing process from the master himself. Well, he humbles himself and he calls that he's not a master, but he has written a wonderful book with a lot of characters involved. So I'm sure if you really love mystery and if you really love plots and twists, I'm sure this is the book that you should be definitely buying. I'm going to buy that book for sure. And wishing you the best of luck, Ankit, and for all your passion projects. And I'll look forward to connecting with you soon. And thank you for being a part of this live, for your time, and all the best for all your future projects. With this, we'll end the live. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.